Hey, it's Mike from the Life in Attleboro podcast. I want to tell you about a special offer from our sponsor, Confidence Fitness, that just got even better. Their Black Friday deal is underway right now, and it lasts until December 31st. Only for Life in Attleboro members. I've recently told you about their 2-week Jumpstart program for $99. Well, now it's only $59. Here's what you get. 6 small group personal training sessions so you can start building strength and muscle. You'll get their food and mood journal to get you thinking about what foods to eat and how they impact your body and mind. And you'll get an in-body scan to measure your current body composition. If you've been thinking about getting in better shape physically and mentally, now is the time to take action. This $59 investment can be a game changer for you. All you have to do is go to lifeinattleboro.com and you'll see the link right there on the homepage. I'll also include the link in the show notes of this episode. Confidence Fitness is located at 453 South Main Street. Confidence Fitness. Strength for life, strength for sports. And now, on to the show. You are listening to the Life in Attleboro podcast, where we interview the city's most interesting people who are making a positive difference in our community. Hey everyone, I'm the host of the Life in Attleboro podcast, Mike Sullivan. Being a high school athlete can lead to a lifetime of lessons and a lifetime of memories. And there's one group in our great city that is on a mission to make sure that happens. It's called the Attleboro Varsity Booster Club. And the goal is to raise enough money to make sure every single varsity athlete gets a varsity letter jacket free of charge. But the Attleboro Varsity Booster Club is about so much more than just that. Learn about the many ways they help the community in episode 24 of the Life in Attleboro podcast. All right, joining me now is Tara Irwin and Christine Hanrahan. Tara is the co-president and Christine is the treasurer of the Attleboro Varsity Booster Club. Tara and Christine, thank you so much for being guests on the Life in Attleboro podcast.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us, Mike.
Of course. Tara, I'm going to start with you. So for those who may not know, what is the Attleboro Varsity Booster Club? When did it first come to life? When did it all start and why?
So the Attleboro Varsity Booster Club has been around probably for approximately 57 years. It started back in 1967. I'm not sure what their mission was and why they decided to start it, but I do know that it is still going very strong today. And our mission as a board is to raise as many funds as possible to provide our student athletes of Attleboro High School their varsity jackets at no cost to them or their families.
That's a great mission. 57 years. I did not know it was around for that long. Wow. Decades. Christine, how long have you been a member of the Booster Club and why do you enjoy it so much?
I have been a member for about 5 or 6 years now in the role of treasurer. I enjoy it because it touches upon every sport that's offered at the high school. From track to cheerleading to football, baseball, basketball, cross country, like you name it, we touch every single sport that's available. And I think there's 21 different sports that are up at the high school at this time, and they're looking to expand, adding additional ones to include wrestling and I believe boys volleyball as well.
Yep.
Wow. Kudos. So Tara, I was coordinating with Jessica Tell, another member of the Booster Club, for our interview, and she told me when her children started playing sports at the high school, she was looking for ways to get involved. So for a parent who would like to get involved and help out, can you please share what they can expect if they were to join?
Yeah, so when you join our AVBC Booster Club, you can expect to attend a monthly meeting, which we hold every first Monday of the month. We basically go through our agenda, what's coming up, what we would like to do, what we did that didn't work, how we would change things. Basically, it just depends on how involved you want to be. We do have a board, and there are 8 of us that make up that board. So it depends. Do you want to just come in and be really committed? Or do you want to come in and just volunteer your time because you don't have all that much free time available? So our board makes up 2 presidents, 2 co-presidents, and I myself am a co-president along with Kelly Crowley. And then we have Christine, who is our treasurer. We have Diane Silva, who is our secretary. We have 2 jacket coordinators that take care of all of the ordering of the jackets, the numbers of athletes that are going to be receiving their jackets, making sure that the sizes are correct and whatnot. And then we also have our 2 concession co-chairs, which are Melanie Silver and Jessica Cattell. So if you really want to be involved, you can take on a role and be part of the board. But if you want to be involved, but you don't want to be too involved, as I've said, then you can just volunteer your time to help with our fundraising, which mainly our biggest fundraiser is our concession stand that we run. We try to be present at all sports, not just football, which is our biggest one.
So do you have to have a kid in high school to be?
You do not have to have a kid in high school. Usually we find that the people that are involved are people that have athletes at the high school. I know when I was approached for this position, I was helping out at a basketball concession stand, and the current president of the board was there, and she basically was just like, oh, I think you need to take this over. And she talked to Kelly and myself, and one thing just led to another. I wanted to always be involved because my son is a senior this year at the high school. He is a 3-sport athlete. He plays golf, baseball, and basketball.
Wow.
And he is captain of basketball and baseball. So I always wanted to be involved, but he is my first child out of 3 that has gone to private school. My girls went to Bishop Fien. So I was always involved in the Catholic education. I teach in Catholic education, and I've always been involved that way. So coming into a public school and a big school, I wasn't really sure how to get involved and how to go about doing it. But when the option came to be, I said, I don't know if I want to be a president of anything. I'll definitely help. But one thing led to another, and I've thoroughly enjoyed it. And it's been great to meet new people, and we just have a lot of fun.
That's awesome. I got to interview Bishop Fien President Tim Sullivan for a few episodes ago. I got to tour the school. What a great school too. But so you mentioned the board, Tara. Christine. So I understand 6 of the 8 current board members in the club have graduating seniors this year. So there might be some opportunities for new members to join. Is that right?
Yeah,
big time.
Yeah. Okay. So we're recruiting here, right?
Yeah. Actually, Diane, who's our secretary, her daughter graduated last year. And she stayed on, help. She enjoys it. I have a graduating senior, but I also have a current sophomore, so I'm staying on. Ellie and Tara are both graduating seniors.
You're done.
One of our jacket chairs has a graduating senior, so there's that available. There's that position available too. We're always looking for people to help. They can just show up and come in, and
they can give us 2 hours. They can give us 20 hours. You can be an aunt of a student at the high school. You can be a sibling of a student at the high school. Like, you don't have to have a child that's attending Attleboro High School to be part of Attleboro Varsity Booster Club.
We have 3 jacket nights where we actually have a ceremony and award the jackets. Place at the high school in Bray Auditorium. It's recorded and it's on WACS. It airs at a later time. It's not a live broadcast, so you can search those and see what they're like, see what the jackets look like, see the ceremony.
We are the only high school that we know of that we award the jackets to the athletes at no cost to them or their families.
That's huge. What a great gift. Great memory.
And it's all through our fundraising.
Yeah. So I'm going to ask you about the fundraising here. I've noticed, because one of my neighbors has one of those big blue A's painted in his driveway, and I see them across the city, including my neighbor's house. So I understand that is just one of several different fundraising efforts throughout the year. Tara, can you tell us about ways people can help if we're not able to join the Booster Club?
Absolutely. So yes, the A's that you see around the city was a fundraising idea that we progressed and went forward with. We went out and charged $40 a driveway, and we spent weekend upon weekend going. We got sport teams involved with their coaches, and they would go out. We had stencils made, and the A's were put onto the driveways. It was a huge success. We've only done it the one time. People that did not participate in it want to have it done now. But it was a lot of time that was consumed. And as much as we'd like to do it again, I don't know, Christine, help me out with this one. It was very involved. It took a lot of time. It took a lot of coordination of getting sport teams and coaches together, enough kids to be able to go out on a Saturday morning to get this done. You needed certain weather conditions in order to do it. If it was raining, you couldn't go out. If it was going to be too cold, you couldn't go out. If it was going to be too sunny, you couldn't go out because the paint had stipulations that we were working with. But With that being said, we would like to bring it back. It's just a lot of work, and we realized that when we did it. But other ways to be involved are just to come out on game days that we are home at Toys of Cassidy Field and support our concession stand, which is huge for us. It's the majority of our money that is raised. But we also have a program too that is called Back a Bombardier. And if you can't join the Booster Club, but you feel like you want to give because you're an alumni of the school, you have a grandchild at the school, you're just a parent that has kids there, but you're not that social person that really goes out and gets involved in things. Back a Bombardier is a straight flat donation that is given to the school, and all the monies go towards the varsity jackets.
And we are a 501c3, so it is all tax deductible.
Good to know. Good to know. So just for our listeners right now, Christine and Tara are both rocking these beautiful royal blue hoodies with the big Attleboro A on it. And I want one. I called the high school, and it's on the high school store is only open for students during the school day. It makes total sense. I wasn't able to go after. I went to that store downtown that has all the Attleboro stuff. That was closed. Yeah, it was closed for an emergency. So I'm like, darn it. So how do I get my royal blue hoodie? I want one.
You can join our Attleboro Varsity Booster Club,
right,
and you can become co-president.
Sold.
We have a school store. We have a school store. Actually, it's funny that you mentioned this because my son is into marketing at the school.
Nice.
And he is president of the marketing club at the high school. And they're currently right now trying to get all of the kids down into the school store to start selling and pushing the merchandise.
Nice.
But if you were to walk into our beautiful facility off of our cafeteria, we do have a school store, and you can get any of your any Attleboro apparel, including bumper stickers for your car.
Nice. All right. Yeah, I'm going to have to get some Attleboro swag for sure. All I have is Life in Attleboro t-shirts right now. So yes, Christine, so the Attleboro Varsity Booster Club isn't only for parents.
We are constantly looking for students to help us run the concessions, run the 50-50, run whatever raffles they have. To do that, National Honor Society students will volunteer and get their hours so that they can satisfy that requirement. You can be a student, you can be a grandparent. We've had grandparents help us out. Kelly Crowley runs most of the social media, and she's very up to date. We push all of the programs, and that's the best way to reach out to us. We'll definitely get back to you.
Cool. Yeah, I see the Facebook post.
Our Instagram has grown by leaps and bounds because once we started reaching out to coaches and saying, hey, if you have any pictures of the athletes from the track meet, if you have any pictures from the game, send them our way. We'll get them out on social media. We'll put them on Instagram. And the kids love to just see pictures of themselves and their friends. And we went from, I think, maybe 62 followers to like over 200 and something now.
Wow.
And it's mostly student based. The students are just loving going on to Instagram and seeing their game from the day before or their friend's game from last week. And we build up the hype. Kelly's really good with getting it out there before. I dig pink for volleyball. Like we made sure that we really got out there and said, hey, come and pack the gym and dress in pink to support breast cancer and our girls volleyball team. And the kids, they really enjoy this, and they're going and they're hearting and they're liking all of our posts.
That's awesome.
Our Instagram likes have really built up.
Very cool. Christine, Tara, anything else that you'd like the people of Attleboro to know about the Attleboro Varsity Booster Club?
I would just say that I know you were saying, how can people get involved? And basically, most of our fundraising, as Christine and I have both stated, is through our concessions. But taking part in we do 50-50 raffles. The way that we raise our money for our mission so that the kids are not responsible for their jackets are basically through the 50-50. We try to do a 50-50 raffle at every single game. We also offer 4 scholarships of $750 a piece to 4 graduating seniors.
Awesome.
So that is another thing that our money goes to. So basically our funding goes through concessions. We have the scholarships, the Back a Bombardier campaign, 50-50 raffles. I would just say that if people are interested, they don't have to necessarily be involved. We would love them to be involved. And obviously we'd like to get our board settled. We've built the program up so much. The people that are leaving after this year, we really want to see it continue to grow strongly. So anybody that wants to get involved, we have a great group right now. I never thought that I would be working in concessions every single home game. Yeah. I said I can oversee, but I don't want to make that commitment. And I'll tell you, when I don't go, I feel like I'm missing out. It's It's work, but it's fun work. And we just all really enjoy being together. And I'm hoping for the next crew to come in the same thing.
It's really about the kids, and they walk around with them and they wear them with pride because they've earned them. They don't just, here, you get one, you have to earn it. And the smiles on their faces, and the kids walk around with them on. You may or may not see them walking around town. I don't know if you know what they look like, but it's just a fun organization, and it helps every club.
There's no sport that we exclude, which is huge. Usually back in the day, if you were a football player, you got a varsity jacket. There was some sports you got them for, some sports you didn't.
Right.
All of our students that qualify, that put in the work, are awarded a jacket. I'm not sure if we touched upon, but we do have 3 jacket ceremonies throughout the school year. We do one in the fall, one in the winter, and one in the spring, and every one coordinates with the sport that's happening at that time. And that night is just so special, not only for the student athletes, but they're for their families. Everybody gathers in the Bray Auditorium. The kids are talked about a little bit by their coach, and they come across the stage, and Kelly and myself place the jackets on them, and you can just see the smiles on their faces, and they walk off the stage, and it's almost like I did it. Yeah. And it gives us just such a great sense of accomplishment, because this is what our mission is. We've had coaches, we've had parents come to us and say, hey, my daughter's a cheerleader, the uniforms are looking drab. Do you think maybe Booster Club can help us out? That's not what we're about. We're not there to support new uniforms. We're there for the student athletes to reward them when they are so deserving of their varsity jacket.
Good stuff. It's a great group of people for a great cause, creating a great memory for high school athletes. So Tara and Christine, keep it up. Hopefully we can get some fresh faces to the Varsity Booster Club. And I really appreciate you guys taking the time to share the mission and be guests on the Life in Attleboro podcast. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mike. It was a pleasure.
I had a lot of fun speaking with Tara and Christine, and I learned a lot too. What a fun group of dedicated parents carrying on a tradition decades in the making to make sure each athlete gets a varsity jacket free of charge. And as you heard, the Attleboro Varsity Booster Club is looking for new members. If you or someone you know would be interested, I'll put the information in the show notes of this episode. I also want to give a quick shout out to Jessica Cattell. She's an active member of the Booster Club. She reached out to me to let me know all about this great group of people. So thank you, Jessica. Hey, I want to tell you about our new sponsor, Hoban Accounting Services. If you're a small business owner, you know how much of a hassle it can be to keep track of every penny earned and every penny spent. But thankfully, Hoban Accounting Services is on a mission to heal your headaches and fizzle your frustration when it comes to crunching those pesky numbers. Hoban Accounting Services has helped local businesses for more than 7 years. That's when Nicole Hoban, a proud mother of twin girls, launched her business. She's a QuickBooks Pro Advisor with tons of awards to her name. If you mention the Life in Attleboro podcast, you'll get 10% off for your first 6 months. If you'd like to support a small business owner in our city, just tap the link in the show notes of this episode and Nicole will be in touch. Hoban Accounting Services. A great bookkeeper should be an asset, not an expense. Nearly 600 people have signed up for the Life in Attleboro email list. Are you one of them? If not, you're missing out on exclusive benefits, including early access to every new podcast episode, special savings at Attleboro restaurants and businesses, behind-the-scenes videos and insight, and you'll stay in the know about cool events in our great city. Just go to lifeinattleboro.com, and you'll see the sign-up display right there on the homepage. And if you know someone who would make a great guest on our podcast, please shoot us an email at lifeinattleboro@gmail.com. That's it for today. Life in Attleboro is a great thing. Support our community, promote positivity, and make a stranger smile. Have a great day, and we'll see you in the next episode of the Life in Attleboro podcast.